Welcome back, and everyone. Last week, Dismas House hosted their annual fundraising event, a wonderful night I had the pleasure of attending myself. Right now, I'm joined by the Executive Director, Andy Huxhold, and CC Bell as well, both with Dismas. Thank you guys for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having us back.
Yes, last week was such a fun event, and I was so moved and inspired by the work that Dismas is doing in the community. For those that aren't aware of what Dismas House is, Andy, can you give us the rundown on what you guys are all about?
Yeah, so Dismas fosters community and belonging for folks coming out of incarceration. So we offer housing, but we also offer a lot of holistic wraparound support services, and we kind of do life together.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to become a community, become neighbors, become friends and loved ones. So
absolutely. A theme of the night was a second chance, right? We all may make mistakes in our lives, but it's about how we move forward and get better. CC, talk to us about your story.
A lot of people know me out there. They know the background that I come from Chicago. I was given a second chance. I was given more than a second chance. So I'm moving on to the staff now. I'm figuring out exactly how can I add on to that and buy into what Dismas has to offer so that I can provide second chances for people who need it, because we all know how important that is, because some people take those second chances and make great things out of it.
Mm-hmm. And coming out of incarceration is not easy. It's a very vulnerable period. Talk to us about that community that you guys are fostering over at Dismas.
Again, our mission statement is to foster that sense of belonging, self-determination, and dignity. And that empowerment of a person returning from incarceration, that's huge, because you never know who will be the next great doctor coming out of prison. Like, this is possible. Who will step into those spaces that people need in this community, and also like putting me through school at IUSB. Like, Dismas set the foundation for that. And I'm going to do great things with it because someone believed in me to say, look, I'm going to give you the space to chase what it is that you want to do.
That's amazing. And just seeing you, CC, interact with everyone was amazing to me. You can tell people are looking up to you as a leader and a role model, and that's just a beautiful thing. Of course, we have to talk about Dismas as a nonprofit. Last week was huge. The community really stepped up. Talk to us about that, Andy.
yeah, so it was incredible. When we started really tallying how much the community stepped up, the community altogether donated over $61,000 in total. And so obviously we have some event expenses out of that, but I was most excited about the Fund a Need campaign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were there during the campaign. Mm-hmm. We talked a lot about some really tangible ways that we try to support our residents. And so when we talk about the challenges of reentry, things like coming out and not having any type of ID or birth certificate, social security card, hygiene items, bedding, you know, all of these things that are just really critical to restoring that human dignity aspect, we did a Fund a Need campaign.
Yeah.
And altogether, the community pulled in over $22,000 that will go directly to residents.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And without that community support, you guys wouldn't be able to operate.
Yeah.
No, definitely. We rely very heavily. So, you know, with the current climate, the current funding climate, the current political climate, it can be a little tricky for a lot of nonprofits right now, knowing what's happening with funding.
Absolutely.
And at Dismas, we're in a strangely lucky position right now because we don't actually rely on state or federal funding. We're entirely funded by private donors and granting organizations.
And you mentioned that this community does step up.
They do every time, and that's part of why we haven't been reliant on those more, you know, those government funded dollars. We rely on this community.
That's great. Other than giving your money, right? There are other ways you can help. Talk to us about that, Andy.
Yeah, so our website has so many different options on there, but I think one of the biggest things is just proximity.
Yeah.
Okay.
CC and I talk a lot about proximity. You know, we love how Brian Stevenson talks about proximity and just talks about getting proximate to those that maybe have had a different walk than you. And so the big things are coming out and having dinner with us at the house. We have family dinner Monday through Thursday at 6:30.
Anyone can come out.
Anyone can come.
There you go.
You've
been invited. There's your invitation.
We want to have family dinner with you. We're having a summer book club to learn a little bit more about reentry and what that experience is like. There's information on that on our socials. And then on the website, there's also just a lot of information, again, on how to learn alongside us. We're learning too. I learn so much from CC and the other residents and alumni every single day. And I just finished my master's in public policy with a concentration in justice reform, so I have all the book learning, right? I did all the... It's totally different spending time with those who have walked through it. I learn every single day from them, and that's what I want the community to do, is to come out and spend time with us.
Yeah.
There's nothing there's nothing that supersedes literally just spending time with us.
And your
It's a nice
time could be one of your
ecosystem.
most valuable resources. Cece, what do you think that means to the residents when people in the community show up just because they care?
It's a way to be heard, for people to come out and show their desire to want to hear people's stories, but to also want to know exactly where it is that you're going, and to say that, oh yeah, we believe in you. So sitting down at that table and building those relationships are unlike anything we've ever experienced before, and we get to be able to talk to people in so many different diverse backgrounds and from so many different walks of life. So that just adds and it creates for more cultured people, taking in from many different places. So it means a lot.
Absolutely. I want to quickly mention these pictures rolling. Jamie Campbell Bower was the keynote speaker of the event. You may know him from Netflix's Stranger Things, the Twilight series. That was fun getting to meet him as well. But he had such an inspiring message. He has been affected by substance abuse. He has overcome that. And do you think that that made an impact for people hearing his story, Andy?
I think it did. I think Jamie also, when we talk about the impact that our residents have, Jamie was so moved by our residents and who they are as individuals and them being a voice for Dismas and what we do, that he ended up donating back his entire speaker fee following the event.
He did not have to do that.
He did not. It was the first time I know of in Dismas history that someone has done that. And so that's all thanks to our residents and alumni and the time that they spent at the house with him sharing their journeys. And again, his willingness just to get proximate.
Yeah. Well, you guys keep up the great work you're doing in our community. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We've got a lot more to get to, including Matt's full forecast. Stick with us. We'll be right back.